Okay. The fuel prices, they've been on a rise in this country, for the past several years. And although there's been much publicity recently around rising prices, this issue has been ongoing to the trucking industry for several years. We've been suffering from increases that have caused us to lose efficiencies and erode our profits. In the past year, diesel prices have continued to increase, while today averaging around $4 to $4.50 a gallon. At first, the increase was simply borne by the trucking company until it became so high that operating without fuel surcharges or increasing prices was no longer an option. And what continues to be amazing is the fact that diesel fuel is less refined and therefore costs less to produce, but is averaging approximately 70 cents more per gallon than gasoline. While I struggle to remain in business dealing with escalating costs, our fuel companies continue to report record-breaking profits. What remains extremely frustrating to all businesses and consumers who are facing higher costs is the same fuel companies continue to receive tax breaks. Graff Trucking employs 12 employees, and despite a solid relationship and established 20 years history in business, I'm appointed to question my ability to continue to operate. The news reports almost daily on companies who are ceasing to operate or filing for bankruptcy, including 3 airlines just last week due to the increase in operating expenses. One common thread for these companies in the trucking industries are the fact that the fuel is the highest expense that has driven them out of business. I request your help so that Graff Trucking is not the next company faced to follow this path. What is the driver for these outrageous fuel prices? Is energy trading and Wall Street playing a huge part in the root cause of the fuel prices? Wall Street is not driven to provide affordable energy supplies. Due to the limited overseeing of energy trading and the dormant position in oil futures by investment banks and hedge funds, this may be a contributing factor of the volatility of the prices leading to high gasoline, diesel, and oil prices. The government standard rate for transportation, rate per mile charged for similar types of modes of transportation and fuel surcharge rates equal. What we need there is some help from the government to come up with some standardized rates. Okay, this would allow for small business owners to be competitive, not allow large companies to dictate the rates, which is my fear. I hate to see any more government involved in business than it is today, but if the government does not step in now, what we're going to have is large companies only, and they're going to be dictating the transportation rates. Transportation industry is the first impacted by these rates and then filter through the economy and touch all citizens, which everyone else has testified to. There is potential for increased costs to all of our business sectors for our country is at risk. Government must take immediate steps to prevent the economy from slipping even further into a negative state than we are currently facing. Pennsylvania, where I'm from, has the highest tax on diesel in the nation. The government is considering implementing a toll on Interstate 80, as well as discussion on privatizing the Pennsylvania Turnpike, selling the Pennsylvania Turnpike. These actions would have a continued detrimental effect on the transportation industry. In Pittsburgh, a 10% drink tax was initiated to help address financial struggles of the mass transit, the Port Authority. These are not steps needed to resolve the issues that we are facing. This committee, as well as the federal and state governments, must work together to implement both short and long-term solutions to allow small business owners such as myself the ability to continue to operate, allowing us to provide employment and service to our customers. Now, what I would like to see our federal government help us out with are alternative auxiliary power units, where these tractor trailers do not have to sit along the roads and idle 24 hours, whatever, so that the drivers may stay cool in the summer, stay warm in the winter. They're auxiliary power units. I'd like to see some type of grant from our federal government. We would decrease the emissions and the fuel usage. These are the kind of answers that I'm looking for from our federal government. I'm not looking for free handouts, whatever. I'm looking for grants, whatever, so that we can reduce and help our own industry survive. This is what we need to have happening. And we need to limit the price of fuel increases on a weekly basis, so that Monday, when we bid our freight rates out for the week, Tuesday, the fuel price is up 14 to 15 cents a gallon. Our government needs to step in and help us with the cost rising throughout the weeks. We need set rates on fuel. No one else in the industry in this whole country can get away with what these oil companies do to us in this industry every week. These prices continue to fluctuate. They jump up. No reason, because the wind blew wrong somewhere. It's crazy what goes on in this country with these oil prices, and the federal government needs to step in and give us a helping hand. And thank you very much. Appreciate you having me.